Well, happy prosperity day, everybody. What's up? So good to see everyone. It's good to be here. Thank you for being a part of this fabulous journey. I mean, it really is. It's fun. That's why I do this. If it wasn't fun, it's like, why the hell would you be doing this anyway? So good to see everybody. I think everything there I am right there and looking good, Steiger. Yeah, good to see you, dude, man. All right. Yeah, it's cool. Folks, you gotta love it. And I think everything is it says, is it live? I'm assuming. Can y'all see me on this? I'm not, it could be the internet, who knows? But it says that I'm live, so I'm going to take it that it is. And all right. So what's up, everybody? Just speaking favor over us all. Nothing missing, nothing broken. So good to see you. Favor, man. That's all. Let me tell you what. Favor. Yeah, big time. Man, it's serious. I came. Well, it was amazing how quickly it happened. But as you know, if you've ever been in those close calls where time slows down, that close, man, from being T-boned, I'm telling you. So, yeah. So I hope everything is cool on this. It says it is. And as I look over here, I'll just keep it on this one. It says connection is excellent. So obviously, I'm good to go. So anyway, let's see what else is happening. Hello, everybody in the chat room. Hello, Brenda. How are you, my dear? Good to see you. Deborah, much love to you. Bonnie, Jackie, Robert V is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Who else? Aaron's in here. I think I saw some others here earlier, but welcome, Melissa. I rolled once and wow. Yeah, I mean, it was freaking weird. That's all I got to tell you, man. It's like, so I am very, and I told Lynn, I said, when I got back, I said, full manifestation, And I said, 100%. I mean, you can't have 101%. Well, I guess if you have your reality, you can have anything you want. But anyway, yeah. Wow. It's those moments that you realize that these words that we speak are just not words. And it's not just expression. It's power. It's force. And if you really believe in your words, it's like this. Situations, real life, where you've had to take over in a situation. What do? Well, for myself, I can speak at a very loud level and people just stop. I know a lot of folks in law enforcement had the same thing. But yeah, and these words, they within this, we're going to talk a little bit about today. Our theme here is we're going to fire God, at least the one that keeps on saying that we are or it's the one that's in charge. I don't know. Let me see if I can get over here. I'm just searching some things so I can keep up with the chat. And obviously those two aren't working. So we'll keep over here in this one. Mr. C, what's up? Good to see you. And Lori, hello. Russell, hello. Manifesting Annie. I love that. Happens. It does. Favor. I mean, it could have been really ugly. All I got to say. So how's y'all's world? Got to meet your granddaughter over the weekend. Life is good. Russell, cheers, my friend. Nancy, how you doing? Is that, I can't see if that's Jay. Is that Jill? Anyway, hello, Miriam. Good to see you. John Bryce. What's up? So Lot to cover. Want to give a shout out to Chris Matthews over at Forbidden Knowledge News. You can see him on, I believe it is Rumble, Odyssey, the other platforms. He asked if I would interrupt my day and do a show for him and with him, and I did, and it was fun. Y'all really check it out. Go over to Rumble, Forbidden Knowledge News. Chris Matthews is going to have him on here. He as well has a film which he is looking to have soon, or should be maybe already on Amazon Prime. So we're going to get Chris here and see where all this new talent. Love it. Man, this is what it is. It's reaching beyond this cacophony of madness and going out and creating. Love it. So, and it was real interesting. I got in a dialogue with some of the people that follow Chris and made, comment. We talked about, and he titled it, Breaking the God Spell. Because, hey, Nina, what's up? Nina, I did not. I was outside working. What it is. I mean, it's having its benefits, I got to tell you. But no, dear, I'll have to check it out. Brenda, what's up? Coming to be a good message. Yeah, Bonnie, it is. Yeah. It's Brian, 1958. How you doing? So interesting, the comments on this, because there's a lot of people who are very dedicated to their faith, their belief, and nothing wrong with that. We all believe in something. If you don't believe in yourself, it makes anything beyond that a little bit more difficult, but that's neither here nor there. And it was odd in the synchronicity of timing. There was this article that came out yesterday that said 70%. Now, polls do they really mean 70% of all people? No, but it makes for a good headline. But anyway, when you read it and you read who they actually polled, what the demographic makeup was, it was interesting because overall, the 70% that participated in this poll believed in angels. Double digits in, I believe, atheist and agnostics as well, believing in angels, which consequently leads to believing in demons. Yeah, we haven't finished with that. So, and it's interesting when you start breaking paradigms. Now, for myself, and this is just me, y'all have been on this journey. It's I thank you, YouTube. I mean, it's been copied many times, and many of the shows that we've done here in the subject matter. And I can say that as the limited view that I have of the landscape, it's really this. I find myself being challenged that, do you continue to cooperate with the paradigm that there is a God, that it's male, and this is its creation? So this got me to thinking. And when I think, I love it. So I go out into my meditative place, and my wife, Lynn, says she loves watching me because she can see through the windows on the back of our sun deck, is that, I'm there. And sometimes I get animated because, I happen to believe that there are energy beings, entities, that just because I can't see them doesn't mean I can't sense them. And they can certainly sense me. I once told someone that because they thought that that was kind of weird. But I said, well, what the hell are you doing when you pray? Tell me, what are you doing? I've seen some pretty animated people in their prayers. And you get a group of animated people that get into their prayers, and that's where those revivals come from, because it's contagious. Yeah. But it is so true. Rage Against the Machine, how are you doing? Good to see you. So I become animated because I'm having a conversation, and it's just me. I'm used to that. Again, I used to be one of those animated people in prayer. I mean, I love it. It was a great initiation. It taught me a lot. Taught me discipline. It taught me the perspective that if I step outside one firmament and move into another, but with the same thing, same principles, same laws, all in working unison with one another, you can pray down heaven and earth, as they would say. And you start speaking in the in tongues, and it gets really wild. Kabuto theater, that's what it is. It's fun. So, hey Steve, what's up? Good to see you. Go. Hello, Paul, Joe. Shirley, what's up, darling? Go, all the way from Croatia. How are you doing, my friend? So, James, what's up? Pray for favor. See? So, it's that question. So what are you praying to? What are you praying with? The title of today is the pink slips. It's time to fire. A lot of what we would say today is the hierarchy, that upper echelon, the powers to be that are above us, supposedly. And so here I'm meditating, and I keep my notepad there because it comes to me. And you can say, well, it's kind of like channeling, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. Isn't that what prayer is? Channeling? I don't know. And I'm sitting there, just getting in that place. And, once you step through the threshold, well, you should have your place. I have mine. And so I'm looking at the clouds, and I'm seeing them, and they're moving quickly, and there's different interactions. And then I can see the sky above that. Now, I know scientifically what I am looking at, or at least what we think we're looking at. But what we're looking at is a thing that has been known way back, and you could say, well, our species just wasn't aware. Okay. The firmament. And then that got me to thinking, okay, I'm down here, I'm looking up there. So what is that really saying? So I present for your mind exercise, whatever you want to call it. So I put this together. Allow me to get this pulled up. And so as he pulls this up, there we go. So this thing that we call the sky, outer space, is what is vast majority of the world believes, this being God, called the firmament heaven. That's got some pretty serious stuff attached to it. And in this case, we're going with the narrative. We're going with the monotheistic, patriarchal view of this, whatever it is. So, the firmament. I like this. I looked up one of the definitions, because in what they say in the word, the Bible, the Bible, that God made the firmament. and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. That's some serious shit, man. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, if a being can do this, well, you'd think it'd be pretty smart, wouldn't you? Just saying. And then I found the definition here is interesting. A sphere or world viewed as a collection of people. Now that's got a connotation to it for me. It's got, I mean, it feels like I'm a part of a herd here, you know? Like they've already, tattooed us, branded us. So we're in a firmament where we are viewed as a collection of people. Doesn't it got kind of like an overlord, overseer kind of thing for it? Like, what the, are they telling us something? I mean, did these cats from, thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of years ago, did they really know a little bit more than we do? I think they might have. And here's the other one. The vault or arch of the sky, that which is known as heavens. Weird, isn't it? Now, I know this has been talked about and discussed, but it's these things that we just sometimes assume are what they are. So this is a representation. What the hell? It's like a mosquito decides to come right in at the moment. Hey, photobombing. So this is a representation of God. Okay. So the story goes, some old white dude who seems to not yet to discover what a razor is, nor comb, who has superhuman powers. Get that out of here. Oh, that is just wild, man. I got to get this. I have this electric fly swatter, and man, anyway. So this dude, he can fly. He created this place. And although we can peer out into this mirage and see what we think is called space, it's actually an illusion. Now, one could argue, they go, okay, well, but wait a minute. We've got satellites out there. We've got telescopes. I mean, we can see, they tell us, we can see 14 billion years into the past. 14 billion. I think that's light years too. So every light year is roughly 6 trillion miles. Give it a little bit more in context. They say from the first century to today, we've traveled approximately, I think, 1.1 light year. So anyway, let's get back to this old white dude, all right? So this old white dude then creates this totally bizarre place. Now, I put that in quotations because this is a place, not a realm, not a dimension, that we attach those things to it because we're still trying to identify it, but technically it's a place, which is an actual space. Wrap your head around that. And the really strange thing is most of those caught under this firmament don't care. In fact, they created a state of consciousness known as religion to help explain what this place, quote unquote, is, and what the purpose of this place is. And they do not venture beyond the written word, capital W, parentheses. And anything that goes against the established belief system is rejected. Now, I don't care who you are. This is a very, very strange place. And Bubba, stop. I'm telling you, no one could get within 100 yards of this place. So this is what we have been dealt with. This is what reality is. And this is what makes this place even more bizarre. Because we're going with the construct. Monotheistic white dude. Apparently, he doesn't realize, again, what a comb or a brush is, or a razor. I mean, I don't know. You figure out on your side. So, no matter how you look at this and all the different belief systems, from way back when to right now today, all believe in the same thing. We can see what we think is the heavens, the stars, the planets, etc., but really it's merely how I saw it. It's like a projection. It's like being at a planetarium. You know, it's a covering. And going back to Babylon, the Hebrews, the Hindu, the Norse, the Celtics, Navajo, Inca, Mayan, Egyptian, Islam, Inca. I mean, even today, what we would call the rebirth of what I would call spiritualism. It's a combination of religion, science, philosophy, thought. But we're still under this dome. And it's interesting because many books have been written on this, but so the water above, there is a theory that says space is actually water, just in a different form. That space is not a dry place, it has an overabundance of water. And if you believe the story, you know, cataclysm 6,000 years ago, the last magnetic excursion, it said the firmaments from deep opened up. Well, that implies that there's more water apparently under us than above and on the surface. Have you ever weighed a cloud? Seriously. When you see those clouds go by, you ever give any idea how much they weigh? Trillions and trillions and trillions of tons. Yet they just float right on by. And if you get out onto the ocean, you see this perspective as it truly is. And of course, then you get people will say, well, how can this, exist? And, you got flat earthers and you got the globe and, listen, I didn't create it. I'm just visiting. It's a bizarre place here. That's all I know. But still, it gives us a pretty good representation. But, humans are the last to really believe what they see. I mean, we see a lot, but we don't see anything. So allow me to digress what my lesson was when I attend these, and that's what it feels like. It's like class. So we have this light, this thing we call the sun, this star that is burning, consuming, and intimating, sending out radiation. That's what it is. Radiation has light, has spectrums of light. And has any of you who've gone out ever gotten a sunburn, you know what that radiation can do, put the hurt on you. And it's interesting because I was holding my hand out and it was told to me, and do it yourself right now. Just put your hand out in front of you. By the way, we're going to get into palmistry, pretty far out stuff. I've always been drawn to it. So we're going to learn together. And if anyone happens to be an expert in palmistry, please let me know. Love to have you on. So my teacher, the spirit guide, was saying, all right, look at your hand. Open your eyes. Okay. Now I can see my hand because it is reflecting the wavelengths, the light, allowing me to have a corporeal substance of a body. Light is there, and I can see the result of that light. But the truth of the matter is, I'm seeing very little of what that actual light is doing, what that actual light looks like, and more importantly, how my body is reacting to that light. A sunburn is merely the fact that the ultraviolet rays are cooking your ass. But if you could see in the ultraviolet spectrum, you would have never walked out there. And the thing about it is that we're only conscious of one particular level of light, one particular aspect of light. In the meantime, our bodies are still subjected, and you don't think that your spirit or your soul is insulated from that? No, darling. They say that many people on the other side, souls that have been contacted through channeling and through modern technology, a lot of them say it's cold, very cold. Makes one think then, if it's cold and a spirit, an energy can sense and feel it, the sensation of cold, whoa. But anyway, and if you stop and you think about this, so my body is in a multispectral view, the light, in all different wavelengths. My body is still, and it has an effect. You get depressed. There's an energy, there's a flow. If you could see into that light spectrum, you would see it. Hell of a disadvantage we are down here. And throughout the eons of time, man has perceived this thing to be where this white dude, why is it a white dude, an old white dude? I mean, come on. Why? Well, if I'm going to be worshiping a god, I would hope that it would be an Adonis. Damn good looking. Elvis, George Michael. I mean, I'm talking, a good looking dude, or how about a goddess? You just simply become slack-jawed, right? But no, we get the old white dude with the beard. The hell? But anyway, so we get this perception. Now, it's interesting within this because I want to draw your attention to this one, because you see God, and then you see heaven or the heavens, and then you see the different layers of the heavens, and keep that in mind. Again, throughout the philosophers, the theologians, the scientists. Now, and here we see where we are, how this firmament works. It is a arch. It is a gateway. And as you can see, then you have this place that we live in Middle Earth. Then you've got Lower Earth, but actually we're in Lower Earth and lower realm already. And in the place of the dead, of the grave, Shiloh, that's what it is. It's not a place of torment. It's a place where the dead are at. I don't know what the hell the dead do. If you really believe in time and its construct, then technically we're already dead. So I guess we're in the future experiencing something, right? But what we do know, it is layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. In fact, it is so multi-layered that unless you are of a tenacious energy, wow, it can get where you just give up. And when you do that in your energy, this basically becomes absorbed into the particular layer that you happen to may have given up at that time. I mean, that is what consciousness is, right? Pre-consciousness, magical, mythical, sequential systems, holistic, mystical, observer, nonlinear, universal. The whole universe is mental. All right, so I can dig that. But if it's mental, that means thought is being emanated out, and some energy of some kind has to be within that thing of thought. Now, if we are trapped, and I contend that that's what we are, at least in our current carnations of what we are, we get stuck in this thing called reality. And, reality, once you start breaking that down, it just becomes absolutely, nuts. Perception, representation, interpretation, narration, observation, awareness, symbols, words, models, evaluation, stories. So the stories and the narration, as you can see, would be superior in this particular graph. Representation. So we're talking about the firmament, that this God that we just fired, he's got his pink slip, he terminated. Yeah. But what we're left with is a mess, because we are limited in the instructors, the overlords of our time have constrained us within what we think is the totality of consciousness, the totality of existence itself. But what we find out as we pierce the veil of the firmament, we realize it never ends. This so-called thing called heaven is a deception or an illusion, because there is no one heaven. There apparently is multiple heavens. And technically, we are already in heaven, because if hell is below us, then that means those who are in hell are looking up, which makes us heaven. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? The way you look at it. But yet, if we are looking up ourselves and we see the firmament above us, no, wait a minute, then we're actually in hell, the lower realms. So we're in this strange paradox here of where we interpret good as going up, and it's always associated with mostly green, but bad is going down. In the perception of the current reality, right is best, left is wrong. Okay? So we bind this, that up is where you want to go, because you never want to go down. Now think about that. You see, that's a trap right here. If the existence of down is, then down would not be perceived as neither good nor bad. It just is. Because how you would look at us in our reality, we're both up and down. And everybody turned around. You see what I'm saying? So, for review, up equals good, down equals bad. I mean, you think about it. In, this new age, I think that's so ridiculous. New age, okay, new age, mysticism, spiritualism, religionism, politism, I mean, you can go all the way all through the isms you want. Up, good, down, bad. Wow. And then that puts you into a kind of conundrum, because now you're thinking, well, when you ascend, brother and sister, you will see a whole different reality. But you have to ascend, because to descend is bad. No, 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 no. You don't want to descend. Why not? I have found that sometimes the hardest lessons that life has thrown at me have reaped the most profitable rewards. So again, this mind trap, up is good. So when we look up according to what has been written, because we're basically, what we're accepting at the moment is the current paradigm and belief and the dogma of what this reality is built on. To what has been written, we are seeing the bottom of heaven, which means we are below heaven and thus are of the lower realm by our nature, which then means we are in a place, remember that place, called the lower realm or hell. Now, to be fair here, hell is really a modern day construct, modern meaning within the last 2 millennia. It really was more known as the lower realm. And in fact, if you study this out, which we have in a number of the different apocryphas that we've read, we find out that it's actually not a bad place. It's just a place. It's a lower realm. Not necessarily bad, not necessarily evil, terrible place. No. I mean, because if you think about it, you and I are existing in a lower realm. It really sucks out there. The political system sucks. We have everything breaking down. Everything sucks, but that's what part of this realm is. It's the lower realm. It is both the most pleasurable and the most painful. And we get addicted to this pain-pleasure cycle, because that's exactly how the reality works here. And so we become addicts in the aspects of our personality, our habits, our traits. We're both the saints and we're both the whores at the same time. But yet we are told by the controllers that somehow this is bad. This is bad. You're bad if you don't conform. You're bad if you don't follow the narrative. You're bad. It just goes on and on. But yet I argue, no, because this is exactly what the laws are of this lower realm. I'm not saying it's the laws of all lower realms, but this one it is. And oh, by the way, it's also fucking heaven. Yeah. I can meet those who give their lives for their cause or their beliefs, that intervene in situations where they perform the highest acts of valor and honor. Wouldn't you say that would be what heaven would be like? Everyone having that same attitude and attribute? So let's continue. Because remember, it's the white dude, man. The one that doesn't know how to shave. The one that, like, again, didn't he think of cosmology, barber shop, I mean, surely the dude could find someone that could cut his hair. I'm just saying. And why would he get old? That's what I can't understand. You're showing me that this is God, but he's an old fuck. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? I mean, that tells me that everything gets old. Then why is it that we so yearn for our youth? When we were invincible, our bodies didn't require having to work out all the time. They just naturally had the physique. Just asking for a friend. But the question becomes, why? Why would the God of the upper realm want to be the God of the lower realms? Because I'm just thinking this thing out logically now. You think about this. So the idea is, apparently in this hierarchy, is to be above the other. Because if you let a fart, you want to make sure that it goes downwind, right? That's what I'm saying. So you don't have to smell other people's crap. That's what it is, right? So I don't know. It seems like to me that if you've got this ego to be God, which requires one hell of an ego, well, it would be beneath you. Excuse me. Who the hell do you think you are? You got to take your shoes off before you come into my presence. Yeah, but my feet stink. Don't matter to me. I mean, So the higher realms, by the very name itself, is indicative of apparently one realm becomes higher than the next realm. And apparently within each realm, there are laws, there are, I guess, principles into each one. Now, I don't know if each realm has its, problems. It begins to beg, well, then are the higher realms, are they perfect? Is this what we're saying, or is it the fact that, in this realm, you make it to the next realm, and guess what? You get to be on the higher floors? I mean, is that the idea? Kind of doing the uptown thing? You aim for the penthouse? Well, I don't quite have the penthouse, but I'm on like 1,900 floors below. I don't know. So let's follow the logic then. Each successive higher realm would then, by its nature, be a lower realm. How do you argue that? I mean, it is. It just is. By the mere fact that it is below a yet higher realm, thus making even the higher realms, unless it is the highest of the highest realm, then every realm below is a hell. Not necessarily a bad place. It's just a place. In fact, it could be said that every hell is exactly what that heaven would be. Because no matter where hell, unless you are at the very bottom of the bottom, the lowest of all realms. Now, I have no idea what that place, maybe that is our place. No, because our construct is built up that there's a hell below, but that's a terrible place. And not really, no. It's just a lower or another realm. Lower? Then you got to begin to define, well, what do you mean by lower? How do you find lower? Because are we looking at the layers basically horizontal or vertical? I mean, it's like the rat said, forget the cheese. Just get me the hell out of the trap, you know? So I think I've been able to establish at least the concept that we're both in heaven and hell here. That if you decide to ascend, well, you're going to ascend into hell and into heaven. Unless you've ascended into the highest of the highest of highest. But that is a problem. Follow me on this. If the goal is to reach the highest state of being, what does that mean? Well, right now, you could interpret this as that we exist in a perpetual hell. Always looking up, always trying to go above, yet, you cannot tell me that while you have been in this place, that you haven't experienced joy. The thrill, and we could get into all of it. But yet, if you go by the current nomenclature of our society and of our culture, they say that this would be a perpetual hell. But on the other hand, wouldn't it be a perpetual heaven at the same time? So if I go into a party where everybody's partying, and I mean, you know, you got the music going, it's got a great vibe. I mean, it's beautiful. But if I come in with a funky attitude, like, you know what, I don't believe a blank thing. Leave me the blank alone. You know, you just look at your blank, you know, you just go in with that attitude. Guess what? You apparently are already in hell, but you want to make it hellish for everybody else because they're in heaven. I wonder why our political leaders can't find these simple logics. Why is it that they are so dumb that they lose all common sense because they're serving a different God? They're in a different hell, a different heaven. And then you start thinking about that. So it's not only the fact that it's not only the multi-layer, but when you get down to the individual, those people that are under the firmament that is created by this so-called God, is this getting a little crazy? Now you discover that while they're in this heaven, while they're in this hell, they can create their own heaven. They can create their own hell, and then they can inflict that heaven or that hell upon others. Whoa. So, wouldn't it stand to reason that hell is really no different than heaven? And is that not a good thing? I mean, it seems to be an ever-evolving challenge, an ever-evolving, or maybe it never is so much evolving, is that it's just difficult in the nature of how it's made up. Because we're dealing with a mind here that I don't understand. And I'm not saying that I have figured anything out. This is just a simple observation for me in one of my meditative sessions. This is what I came up with, writing these things down. Because what I suddenly became aware of, and I got a gold star for this, by the way. Don't you remember in first grade, getting the gold stars? There was the gold star, then you had a silver star, and then you had a green star, yeah. Anyway. So I'm beginning to think about this, and I'm drawing this out, and I'm having these conversations back and forth, and it suddenly hit to me, well, then what is the goal here? Well, isn't it perfection? But here's the thing. Perfection is the trap. Perfection is the ultimate hell. It is the lowest of the very lowest of all lowest places. I'm going to tell you why. Because perfection is death. Perfection is absolute expenditure of no energy. That's what perfection is. It can never be obtained, because if you obtain it, you're going to cease to exist. You won't ever exist or existed. Perfection is the trap. Think about this. What perfection actually is non-existence. You don't exist. You can exist. Your ego can exist in a perfected state. Your very personality cannot exist in a perfect state. And I have one question for you. If perfection equals non-existence, right? Right? Then what's the purpose of perfection? Excellence? I get it perfectly. Yep, absolutely. We should all strive for excellence. But what's the purpose of perfection? What is its goal? I mean, I'm writing this thing down, and I'm studying writing very quickly, because I'm going, wait a minute. I've talked about this, perfection, how to get to perfection or imperfection. What is the goal of perfection? What is, if you got perfection, then what do you do now? This is what it is. Because what is the purpose of perfection? What is its goal? Excuse me as I get out of here. So anyway, because what is the reason that perfection exists? Existence is based upon, if you follow the philosophers, is your awareness of who you are, what you are, where you are. And does the consciousness transcend the physical death? We believe yes. Some believe no. But if the goal is for all of us to ascend into a higher state of consciousness or perfection, what good does that do us? What benefit does perfection bring to the experience of existence? Because existence is a constant push and pull. And we hope it never ends. We hope it never ends in the other realms to come. Lady Elisa, after I play a song on my piano perfectly, I feel perfect. See? It's like this, is that, Lady Ellie, I think you would agree with me. When you get proficient in an instrument, in a piano, is that because you're always striving for that perfection, that excellence. But if you have a realm of existence, where all there is perfection, what's the purpose of being there? What is your purpose? How can there be any purpose in perfection itself? There's no more challenges. There's nothing more to reach for. There's nothing more to sacrifice, strive for. Bonnie says, my spider senses tell me our reason for existence is to help each other. I think there's a lot to do with, I agree. Hey, Lost in Space, how you doing? And I agree with you. I find moments where I'm listening to music and I am in a state of bliss. Now, I don't know if bliss is different than perfection or if perfection is a state of bliss. But I know this, a perpetual state of blissness. Now, I don't know if that's perfection, but I think that's a worthy goal. That's something I could strive for. My spirit agrees with me on that. Apparently, that's why we're here. Each one of us individually, the essence of our spirit, of you. You're here for a reason. And maybe it is just that stimulation. We know that maybe perfection is not our goal. Our existence, the reason for us to be here, is simply for the fact of experiencing that which we otherwise would never have the opportunity. I mean, does perfection mean that everything is experienced, everything has been accomplished, everything has been thought of, everything has been done? Yeah. The man that started it all, he said, that place of perfection, you don't want to go. Once you go there, you don't return. Now, I don't know what that means. Are there beings that seek that place where it's just beyond total rest, total peace? Is that what perfection brings? Total peace would be meaning the expenditure of no energy. I don't know. I don't know if, as I think about it, I said, I don't know if I quite go with that. Skyheart says, we are the crab. Exactly. And I love crab legs, you know. They only cost a king's ransom today, but I do like them, you know, but I love it. So anyway, that was my meditation for myself over the weekend. Let's see. B says perfection is what only we can gauge personally. At the time we think it's reached, it doesn't mean we are correct. Yeah, I can dig that. Okay. Well, anyway, I hope it was good mind candy. It's we're all of us are going to cross this bridge. I mean, it's the destination. All of us we've got the tickets. Now, I don't know what happens after that. I have my idea, but it is interesting. Is perfection what I really want to ascend into? I don't think it exists. Do I want to go to heaven? My problem is when I left Christianity, and the whole time I was a practicing, confessing Christian, I didn't know what heaven was. I think I was more afraid of heaven than I was of hell. I got the pretty good idea of what, what they built there as their construct. And I remember I was at this camp meeting and I thought to myself, the people down in hell would be a great group of people to party with. I mean, because I'm looking around me and I'm thinking, if I have to go to heaven with these people, that would be hell. And that's all I got to say about that. Yes, Miriam, it is over. The hour is gone. What the heck happened? Loretta says, I was afraid of heaven. The thought was excruciating. Yeah, it's really true. Thank you, Brian. Right back at you, brother. So there we go. Hey, that's what was on my mind, As my wife said, you go places, she says, I have no idea even exist, but ain't it fun? All right, folks, make the best of it. Hey, we're all here, and wherever this is leading, y'all make it a lot more enjoyable, stimulating, exciting. I can go through all of them, but anyway, hell helped me to know heaven. There you go, Paul Joe. I can dig that. The devil dresses like Rick James. And here's just my point. I mean, all the pictures of God, right, are always the old white dude with the beard and what have you. And all the pictures I've seen of Lucifer or Satan, ZZ Top said, man, he's a sharp dressed dude, man. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the idea of wearing a robe all the time, that ain't me. If ghosts have to wear clothes, damn, I want to look good, man. I mean, I want to look good. I want to have, the outfit that man just, forms with that's what I'm talking about. Now that's a ghost. Jackie says, I speak nothing missing and nothing broken upon us all. There we go. All right, folks, much love. See you tomorrow with the ladies. And and I even think if we can get there, we're going to try to get Kaz on as well. All right. Much love, everyone. Until we meet again. All righty.